My name is Benton Stokes. I'm a former fundamentalist, post-evangelical worship leader, and songwriter. I enjoy wry Manhattans, roller coasters, and road trips, just not all at the same time.
I'm Elaine O'Rourke, and I'm a teacher, an author, and a spiritual coach. I was a philosophy professor and a liberal pastor in a couple of former lives, and these days I love aha moments and not so dry martinis.
We have conversations about life and God with a queer perspective, over cocktails, like you. This is Cocktail Theology. Today's cocktail features a liqueur that we've only recently really become familiar with. We did a cocktail with it earlier this season.
Are we talking about Suze?
We're talking about Suze.
Okay.
So this one has Suze. It also has our friend Cokie Americano, which we're fond of these days.
Yes, we are.
It also has dried gin, lemon juice, and a pinch of sea salt, and just a little bit of simple syrup. Tiny bit.
Okay. That is such an interesting flavor.
It is.
It makes me think of the ocean.
Yeah.
And I think it's not just the salt. I think it's something about the particular quality of the herbaceousness. I realize I'm using a lot of big words right now, but there's something about it that reminds me, is a weird way to put it, reminds me more of kelp than like grass.
Oh, okay.
And in terms of the smell and such, It's really interesting. Where did you get this one?
Difference Guide.
Okay, again, difference. All right.
Yeah, I've been perusing Cokie Americano recipes, and I ran across this one. And of course, Suze is a bottle we've just become familiar with, and I've been looking for ways to use it too. So
yeah,
here it is. It has a lot of depth to it. There's a lot going on. I mean, I think I like the citrus and the salt. There's like this little margarita kind of thing going on, but then it's like you get past that, and there's this depth to it that I think the Cokie and the Suze both bring.
Yeah. So. No, it's really interesting. And, you know, whenever you say simple syrup, I start to get nervous. But
it's tiny. It's like a half an ounce for 2 drinks.
Yeah,
like
there's
barely there.
Like, my bet is it just takes off some of the height of the bitterness.
Yeah.
But, no, I like it a lot.
I do too.
Very good.
Difference Guide comes through again. So today, you and I have had an ongoing kind of conversation about spirituality that isn't necessarily attached to a traditional type of ideology or theology. People who would say they're spiritual, but really don't have church as a frame of reference, or don't feel any particular connection to any religion or any particular path to God.
Okay.
There have been some interesting statistics that have come out over the recent years from the Pew Center, and we've talked about them on the podcast before, but this group, the Nones.
And you don't mean like convent nuns?
I don't.
Okay.
Nones.
Like none of the above.
Yeah, religiously unaffiliated. People who refer to themselves this way make up about 28% of the American population.
That's
now,
big.
which is the largest single group that the Pew Center discovered in this most recent survey they did.
Okay.
Basically talking to people about spirituality. And then within that group, it's interesting, some of the things that the religiously unaffiliated said that they believed. Only 42% of them said they believed in an afterlife.
Okay. 42% of the
the nuns.
Of the 28%.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
57% of them did believe in something spiritual beyond the natural world, even if we can't see it.
Okay.
45% said they believe in God. And then 60% of them believe that animals can have spirits or spiritual energies.
Isn't that interesting?
I found that really interesting.
Okay, so 40-something% think there's something beyond the material world, but 60% think that animals can have the something that's beyond the material world.
Well, 57% believe in something beyond the spiritual.
Okay, so it's but there are 3% there.
Yeah, 3% between. Yeah, roughly almost the same.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
But I did appreciate that 57% because these are not people who consider themselves atheists,
right,
or even agnostics. Like 45% of them went ahead and said they believed in God even.
Right.
But it seems that maybe what they don't believe in is maybe church or organized religion or some dictated path to God or whatever is bigger.
I wonder how many of them at this point in history don't even know what that would look like, even if they wanted one. In the generations before my daughter's a teenager, there was a lot of rejection of institutionalized religion.
Yes.
There's been such a dissembling of institutions, period,
Yeah.
that I wonder at this point how many of the nuns have a sense that there is something, they don't know what to call it, they feel like animals have it and they have it, but they really literally don't have any words to put to it exactly. Mm-hmm. They know they're not whatever Christians are because Christians are trying to bring on Armageddon, so you know what I mean? Or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they know they're not Muslim because they feel like they would know if they were. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder how many people are around now who would be none of the aboves, the nuns, and really just don't have anything to hang that feeling on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if we distinguish between religion and spirituality, so religion is simply a codified practice, usually connected with an institution of some sort. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. So religion with the capital R scary terms, it's going to bring down the material world, is really a very narrow view of what religion is.
Yeah.
But if you don't grow up with a codified set of practices or a particular theology or even an allusion to a theology, mm-hmm. you may not even know what to do with this feeling that you have that you're not the biggest thing in the universe.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be really interesting to get at that, because I think there's something in there that is hopeful and magical. And I wonder how many of our listeners or how many people our listeners know feel that, but then don't know what to do with it. I know you work with younger generations a lot.
I do.
What are you hearing from them?
Well, it's interesting because, combine the generational differences along with, West Coast and sort of there's a general thread of open-mindedness, I guess you would say. Like when I talk about being a Christian or being a person of faith, generally the response is curiosity. Mm-hmm. I don't really get judged for it. At least I don't feel like I'm being judged for it. Mm-hmm. But it often will open up conversations with people who will say things like, well, I believe in a higher power. I believe in something bigger than us. But I don't want to call it God, or I don't want to call it Christ. Maybe they kind of like Jesus, but they don't know what to do with the cosmic Christ idea, So it's like, I think there is a desire for connectedness, mm-hmm. but maybe a reticence toward committing to whatever that is. Like they want to remain sort of open and not rigid.
Okay. I think we can help with this.
Okay.
I think we can help with this because both of us understand that we are spiritual creatures. Mm-hmm. There is a spiritual aspect to us as human beings, whether we acknowledge it or not.
Yeah.
So that simply exists. There's no other way to, like love exists, or capacity for learning exists. It is one of those pieces of us. We understand that there are lots and lots and lots of spiritual and religious traditions across time and around the globe.
Yes.
And there are many paths, innumerable paths, to that which is bigger than everything and more permanent than everything that we call God.
Yes.
I think that's a useful framing for folks.
Yeah.
That you are a spiritual being. Mm-hmm. There is a spiritual reality beyond this material reality. It is much bigger and much longer lasting than the material reality. And the shortcut for naming it could be God.
Yeah.
So then the question is, now what?
Yeah.
As you know, I've been talking a lot about awe this season. And I think the first step to kind of getting hold of your spiritual being is to practice awe. To really practice being surprised and tickled and delighted by moments.
Yeah.
And some people find that in nature, and some people find that in children, and some people find that in, humor. I believe it has to be sort of a good-natured thing. If you're tickled by something that is unkind, you're probably not reaching your spiritual self.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's bad, but it's not touching that particular thing.
Right.
But practicing awe, really spending time with stars or the details of a coiled spring, whatever it is that makes you go, that's the beginning of grabbing hold of that spiritual part of you.
Yeah.
I think that if people do nothing but practice awe on a regular basis, their spiritual aspect will grow and become healthier.
I think you're right about that. Yeah.
Let's see if let's play with me here. Let's see if we can think about what else might help people grab hold of it on the road to having a more deliberate, intentional practice. And I'm not talking about subscribing to a particular religion or right, but there's something about having a deliberate practice for anything you do that makes you better at it.
Yeah.
Right? And that gets you in touch with it. And if what you're trying to do is to get in touch with, we'll call it the divine, practicing getting in touch with the divine makes it more likely you'll be in touch with the divine. It's like any other relationship, right?
Yes.
So let's brainstorm for a minute about things that might help people get there besides practicing awe. Do you have anything that comes to mind?
I think it starts with looking for and paying attention to, like you're talking about awe, for instance. If you want to bring more awe into your life, then maybe you plan time to stargaze or be up in the morning when the sun comes up, or whatever it is that gives you awe. If it's the redwoods, take time every week to go out and walk in the redwoods, whatever it is. But I think being intentional about that and not being haphazard, like, when things happen, maybe you notice, maybe you don't.
Right.
I think seeking out beauty, whether it's in art or music or nature. I think practicing gratitude is a big one. I think being aware that there are good things in your life.
Yes.
And good things in the lives of the people that you care about.
Yes.
Especially in the climate we're in right now. It's so easy and almost default to be inundated with ugly news and stuff that's just negative and will bring you down and pull you away from awe and turn your focus instead on just sort of, the ugliness and pettiness of humanity and all the rest of it. So I think maybe being intentional about turning away from those things. I think that's a good place to start if it's something that you really want to pursue.
Right.
It's almost like building a spiritual practice, the way we talk about it.
That's right.
Trying on different things or going to different places, both physically and metaphysically, where you feel some kind of a pull or some kind of a connection or even just a stillness, something that just quiets you. I think all of those are worthy pursuits.
Okay, there are a couple of different things in there that I want to tease out. I love that you went to stillness. Love that you went there. That moment of getting still inside yourself is a moment of connecting to what is deepest and bigger, right?
Yes.
We find it in different places. Some people find it when they're running.
Yeah.
Right? Or bicycling. as you know, one of the things I love to do is to go to a place called Watercourse Way in Palo Alto, California near us, and sit in hot water by myself. Yeah. They always ask, is it just you? Yes. Yes, it is. But to sit in hot water by myself for an hour. At times in my life when I've been most jangled or most despairing, it was a place where both I could, let loose of some of that pain and anxiety and all of that, but also where I could find just a moment of stillness, right?
Yeah.
There's something about that finding stillness for yourself that's really important. So let's put a little circle around that one for sure. Mm-hmm. You also mentioned trying on different kinds of things that might bring you awe. Mm-hmm. I think that's a good idea with a caveat.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It's really easy to get into the mode of chasing that rather than practicing it.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
It's a little bit like the adrenaline rush. If you're an adrenaline junkie, you will go and you will find ways to put yourself into somewhat dangerous situations, or at least things that feel dangerous, just to keep getting that.
Right.
So you have to be a little cautious about that. I would say try a few things on, and then if you find something, deliberately practice that thing, understanding that a whole bunch of times you're going to feel nothing.
Yeah.
You're not going to get there.
Yeah.
But it is through the practice of putting yourself in the position to be connected to your spirit, connected to what is beyond you, connected to awe, that it happens.
Yeah.
So explore and then practice a thing.
I like that.
Another one might be, it just occurred to me, there's somebody I've been following on Instagram who does nice things for people.
Yeah.
He inspired me to send his nonprofit money so he could keep doing nice things for people.
Yeah.
I was thinking, as you were talking, about how sending the money felt to me like a connection to what he was doing and a connection to those people. If you have those moments where you feel connected to somebody somehow, just noticing that, maybe writing it down, because those connections are part of your spiritual being.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So when you and I went on vacation and we laughed together or whatever, it's partly because our spirits were connecting both to each other and to God.
Yes.
Right? Or to whatever you want to call that.
Yeah.
So finding those moments where you feel connected and you don't quite get why, that's your spirit talking.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
Right? So all of those, I think. What else comes to mind?
For me personally, being creative when I feel cranky, when I feel out of touch with God, when I feel isolated, self-isolated. Generally, it's because I haven't allowed myself any time, space, or energy for creativity.
Okay.
For me, that's music.
Okay.
Almost always. And it almost always makes me feel better. When I have a day off to do nothing, generally, I gravitate to creativity instead of, going shopping or going for a drive or even going for a hike or anything like that. What I want to do is create something. And so creativity is one of those things that keeps me engaged with my spirit. If you're a creative type, that may be something worth paying attention to. If you feel alive when you do pottery or when you paint or when you write poetry, maybe be more intentional about how much time and energy you put toward that thing, because that could be a clue as to how you can get closer connected to the divine via your own spirit and creativity.
For those of us who aren't artistic, I want to expand the notion of creativity.
Yeah, please.
So I was talking to a fellow the other day who works in what I would have considered the most uncreative job in the company.
Okay.
He works with particular forms of moving data around. Okay. And I said, oh, you must really like having things orderly and stuff. He said, no, it's all about the creativity in it. And I was like, say more about that, strange person. But he was talking about how for him, this particular job has a tremendous amount of creativity as opposed to problem solving.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's interesting. So I started noticing when I feel creative at work and really thinking about that.
Yeah.
Noticing that sometimes I feel creative when my mind is able to put things together.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there's no art that comes out of that. There's nothing pretty or transferable, but I notice it. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like that string that connects me to the guy I sent money to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like those strings start being connected.
Right.
I was talking to my daughter who, as you know, is into fashion, but she's not so much into like knowing fashion as she is into the creativity of fashion.
Right.
And she's reached a point in her life, thank you, God, and yes, I will name you, thank you, God, where it isn't that she needs to buy everything, but when she gets to a place where she can imagine this plus this plus this plus something that isn't there plus something that doesn't exist yet, that for her is creativity.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And, and some people cook creatively.
Yes, absolutely.
And we know that mixology for us can be a very creative experience. So I'm going to expand that notion of
definitely
really make it big.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yes, creativity is absolutely a connection with your own spirit and with what is much bigger than you are, right? We talk about God as being eternally creative and generative, right? And that there's this idea in the Bible that we are created in God's image. Well, one of the things about God that we share is this creativity, generativity. We like to make things. We like to imagine things.
Yes.
And so that's another way to connect. I love that you said that.
Definitely,
I love that you said that.
Yeah.
You also mentioned about how people connect with their animals. It's hard to distinguish sometimes, especially if you're new at thinking about all this stuff, distinguish your emotions from your spirit. But I think that if you connect to animals, then again, noticing that connection, not affection necessarily, but connection is another way to say, oh, you know what? I just realized connection for me is a big thing in spirituality.
Yeah.
So that might be another way that our friends, the nuns, can get at accessing their spirituality.
Yeah, I like that. Piggybacking on what you just said, I think probably a lot of religious folk, whatever stripe you are, when they see this large percentage of people who are religiously unaffiliated, probably the first thing they assume is that these are people who aren't interested in spirituality.
Right.
Or don't care so much about pursuit of something divine. And I think the thing that I would want our listeners definitely to walk away with is that we are saying kind of the opposite. We think that everyone, of course, is imbued with the divine, and I think everyone has a hunger for something bigger, whether they recognize that's what it is or not.
Yes.
If any of our listeners fall into that category of the none of the aboves, I hope that you're not discouraged by the label, because we certainly don't think that makes you a non-spiritual person or being, but that it's just that you are open to different avenues, and maybe you just feel untethered from what has been traditional religion or traditional church, and there can be myriad reasons why.
That's right.
And all of that is perfectly fine. You and I, in the work that we do, have never been dogmatic about how somebody gets to God, and that will always, I think, be our position.
100%. And for our other listeners who now feel like they're 28% of the population that needs to be saved, okay, just step back.
Just put that away.
Just put that away, because you know what? If there's saving to be done, God's got it under control. So you really don't have to worry about it.
I think so. Listeners, what do you think? We love hearing from you. Cocktailtheology.com is where we are. If you happen to be listening to us on YouTube, leave us a comment, a like, a follow, subscribe, or whatever, because we do indeed love hearing from you. Ideas for cocktails and episodes are always welcome. What do you think about the nuns? Are you a nun? We would love to hear from you.
Yes, we would.
Till next time, friends.
Bye.
Bye.
Funny how the view can change, how life just seems to rearrange itself, no matter what it was. I don't know how it goes, but look, moving on feels pretty good. Moving on feels pretty good.
If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a like and hit subscribe wherever you're listening right now. We welcome your comments, questions, and ideas for conversations and for cocktails. Please get in touch with us at our website, cocktailtheology.com.
Cocktail Theology is a production of SFS. Our theme song is Moving On Feels Pretty Good, recorded by yours truly, Benton Stokes. You can find my music wherever you stream your favorite artists. Join us next Thursday for another new episode.